I felt like a prisoner at that point. At that point, I felt everything I did, I said, there was no safe spot.
Your voice has power.
Yeah.
Your story has power. And you have something to tell people. And what would you tell our audience today that's watching, someone who's in an abusive relationship? What would you tell them if they're in a situation like that?
Get out.
Hey everyone, welcome to Voices Restored podcast. I am your host, Martine Demoliere, and we are talking about all things domestic violence, and we are sharing our healing journeys with you. We hope that you'll be able to take something positive out of our stories and implement it into your lives to help you along the way. And we have our guest here, Mandy. Mandy,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to have you today.
Oh, no, I'm so happy to be here. I'm like, this is so cute. Love it.
So Mandy, tell us about yourself.
So my name is Mandy Kay. I am an energy broker here in the state of Texas. So I help all commercial customers with all their energy needs. And I'm a super host on Airbnb.
Okay. So Mandy, we have you here specifically because we are talking about domestic violence. We're talking about trauma, and you are a survivor of DV. So when did you first get your power back?
I think for me, I kind of just, I just was tired, really. At some point you kind of wake up. I think for me, I just wanted love so bad, especially at my age. I'm like, it has to be out here. And I think sometimes like I just was finding myself settling, for anything, truly, like anything that I could, that would love me back, So I think that for me, it wasn't until the night of Halloween when I was like stuck outside of the house, talking to him through a doorbell camera and just kind of like saying like, this is crazy. Like I'm in a Halloween costume, sitting outside, begging him to let me in, and I'm locked outside of my own home. Like, yeah, I was like, no, this isn't it.
So take us back. What happened? How did you get in that relationship?
So it actually started in 2020 during COVID. You'd go to all these COVID parties, and he was absolutely perfect and very nice, like very soft talking, like very, very gentle. And I was just like, oh my God, wait, could this be like
the one?
Yeah. And everybody said all the positive things. Everybody said everything positive. I was like, okay, great. And it started off so amazing. Mm-hmm. We understood each other. Like I felt like he was also helping me in my business aspect, super like generous. And I was like, wow, like this is new. This is something that I've basically been looking for. And then things just kind of started to prolong. I had just had surgery. And it was like in the middle of the winter storm. Mm-hmm. And I just remember, and I should have kind of caught on right then and there, but because he didn't want me to go to the surgery and didn't have surgery, he was basically like, well, I'm not going to help you.
So when you said surgery and he didn't want you to have the surgery, was it something that was life-threatening or?
I think that for me, it was something that he always felt like, oh, it's going to be, you can lose your life whenever you go under anesthesia and this and that. I've had people who had complications, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well.
So going back to when you first met him, you said that everything was perfect. It felt great. You thought he was the one. Looking back now, right, in hindsight, do you feel like that was love bombing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%. Yeah.
How long did it last?
Which part?
The love bombing.
The love bombing. For as long as I was blind, to be quite honest. It was just to a point, like there was no wrong that he could do in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Even though I saw the red flags, like I saw the aggressive behavior, I saw like the belittling in an aspect, but I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is just what a man is. Like, I've always been the powerhouse in every relationship. And so for me, I was just like, okay, well, maybe this is it. I don't know. Like, I've never had something so serious and so close to being my forever. So maybe this is what it's like.
Yeah. And so at that point, you said that you were always the one that was more dominant in the relationship, right?
Absolutely.
And so did you kind of take a step back and say, I'll let him take the reins, I'll let him take control, because you appreciated the type of man he was?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. He talked really good game as far as like making sure like his business was good and like I know what I'm doing. Like I've done this for a while. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Like maybe I should learn from him. And I don't know. We ended up moving in together. And when we moved in together, I just started hearing more of the I wasn't good enough aspect of things. So
How long before you guys moved in together?
Crazy. I think it was like not even a year. Not even a year, because he really wanted, so he claimed he really wanted a marriage and a wife, and I was obviously in the same mindset. And then, we were both kind of like up there, like we're like mid-30s.
Every girl, their dream is to find their Prince Charming. You want to get married, you want to fall in love. So now that you're in that relationship, you thought he was the one, you moved in with each other. And then you said now, at that point, that's when
things just
trauma increased.
Things just started. I started getting more belittling conversations. Like there was one point we were traveling a lot, which is great. I love to travel.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he wanted us to save money. Like he was like, we need to save money, so let's put $200 into an account every single month. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, like, let's do that. Like,
and it was a joint account.
I think it was it $200 a day or $200 a week? I can't really remember, to be quite honest.
But it was a joint account?
No. It was his account. He had, and like, I don't know what those called, like the safes inside of banks. And so we tried to give me a key, but they wouldn't accept, I guess, me. So he was like, well, I guess it's okay. Like, you'll know where the key is.
I've never heard of them not want to give 2 keys.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, like, I trust you.
Okay.
And at first I threw a really big fit, and his response to it was, so you don't trust me. So this is how we're going to build trust with each other. Like, if you can't trust me with this, we can't really move forward. And I really wanted it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to trust him with it.
Yeah. And
it came down to the point where I had an opportunity to buy out the company that I was working for. And I needed, I think it was like $15,000 just to have cushion. And so I was like, man, I kind of think it's a good idea. I kept saying no, 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 no. And God was like, no, yes, do it. And so I ended up I told him, I was like, hey, I know we have the money in the account. I need the $15,000. He was just like, yeah, I don't think you should do it. And he just kept telling me, no, I don't think it's a good idea. And I was like, no, I think this is it.
Yeah.
And he was like, fine, like, I'll go get the money. We can go get it or whatever. So we ended up getting, I ended up getting the money and putting it into my bank account. And towards the end of the year, the way that it was supposed to work is that we were supposed to split the money in half, no matter what we spent. And it came down to it, and he was deducting everything that I used and everything that he used. And then,
oh, wow.
So out of all that money, I literally probably got like, I think it was like $3,000.
Wow.
And I was like,
that wasn't the agreement.
That wasn't the agreement.
Right.
We had a huge fuss about it. And again, just trying to be that like comfort, that, okay, maybe this is work. Maybe I was wrong. I literally was like, you know what? Okay, don't worry about it. Like, I'll take it. Maybe you're right.
Do you feel like he was gaslighting you at that point? Definitely some manipulation.
He definitely ended up admitting it. Like, yeah, I kind of did you wrong there, but it played out fair. And I was like, okay. So yeah, and like I said, as he started realizing like I had a very successful business, and then like I always paid for my own bills. He paid for his, the home, because it was his home. It wasn't anything that was like in my name. And I just was like, okay, cool. Like, I have my business, everything's good, we're making great money. And then he's just like, I don't like the fact that you're only sitting at the house not doing anything. Like, I was like, well, I built this. Like, we live in Timbuktu. Like, I'm literally giving you everything, and here we are. So it was just like, it was a couple of instances, and that was another where I was like,
red flag, like,
yeah,
something's not right.
I was like, man, why can't I put my finger on it? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And you're just trying to figure out, is this really happening or is it me?
Yeah.
He's playing the mind games with you, the manipulation.
Yeah.
And deep down inside, you just really want it to work.
I just wanted it to work. I wanted to have that forever story, that love story. And then it came to the friends. Didn't want me to hang out with friends. Didn't want me to hang out. Didn't want me to go out. Like, it was a huge ordeal if I did. Like, make sure you come home at a certain time. Like,
so, the isolation. So how far into the relationship were you guys before that started?
Maybe like a year and a half. Maybe no more than a year.
So when he started isolating you from friends, did your friends notice something was changing? Okay. And what did they say?
And I was like, no, y'all are tripping. Like, he's just doesn't want me to be out there like that. Like, I need to be more like of a wife and a housewife and this and that. But the contradicting side of it was that he would be out until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., leaving the house at 12 midnight, collecting money, like because of his business. And I was just like, okay.
Right.
So
why is it okay for you
and
not
getting
okay
money.
for me? Right.
I was like, you know what? This is his business. So you know what? That's right. I should not say nothing about it.
Okay.
I was just trying to be that, I don't want to say yes girl, but I think I was just trying to please.
To please him, because the long-term goal for you was to get engaged, to get married.
Yes.
And you thought you were doing everything that you were supposed to be doing, so to speak, so that he can propose and that you guys can walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
You thought that's what a wife looked like, right? So now your friends are noticing the isolation. They're telling you, hey, girl, something's not right. You're not hanging out with us anymore. This is not healthy. And you're thinking, no, you guys are wrong.
Yeah.
And doesn't that, because I know for me it did, it made me isolate myself even more, because now we're not seeing eye to eye as friends. And because of that, you're potentially can cause conflict in my relationship. And so you kind of back off, you back away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There were a couple of friends that I just kind of distant myself from. Yeah, I mean, I remember even when we went to we were going on trips, and it was just so much, and my friends were just like my friend of like 10 plus years, 12 plus years, like we're not friends anymore.
Wow.
Because of that situation. And then he just made it seem like she was wrong. She was jealous of us. I'm like,
I definitely experienced that too. So I can relate, because they make it seem like your friends want them and they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. And then the isolation, yes, some of it starts through the abuser, but then some of it naturally happens on its own because of the conflict with the friends and not understanding the position that you're in and not understanding the abuse, and you naturally just separate.
Yeah.
And so when you have a friend, talk to me about like, what would you have wanted in a friend in that time period in your life?
I think my friends did a really good job. I have some friends who around that time really did just kind of go with the flow of things with me and just was like, keep an eye out. That's not right.
They stuck by your side.
Yeah, they really did, and I definitely appreciate them for that, because sometimes we can talk about it now and just be like, damn,
that was crazy.
Yeah, damn.
Like, girl, what were you thinking?
yeah, like what is going on?
Yeah, right. But it's like at that time you're thinking like your friends are tripping, basically. Like, this is the man that I've been waiting for, and so why would I want to leave this situation? But then they realize like, no, this is not it. But it's so important for friends to stay by your side, because support when you're going through an abusive relationship, support is like the number one thing I think
Yeah.
that someone needs at
Yeah.
that time, because they have nobody else.
Yeah.
And although they may not fully understand what you're going through at that very moment, and you may not be ready to leave at that moment, just being a good friend, supporting you through the process, just having conversations with you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be talking about that situation all the time, but just being a friend.
Getting my mind off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think I just try to do whatever to, like I said, to make him happy, in a sense. Like, I wanted love so bad. Like, he provided the home, I like the house, and I made it a home, or at least I tried. I mean, but there were so many different red flags. And I remember one of my friends, we were traveling a lot. We were going on vacations, and I was like, man, we need cameras in the house. So on our flight back, I'm like on Best Buy, I'm ordering all these cameras.
So you requested the cameras, or he
Yes,
did? Oh,
I
okay.
did. And I was like, I'm going to get cameras so that we're safe. And I'm also going to have my friend come and install them. And they came. I bought the cameras with my money, install the cameras. And once everything was done, I was like, oh my God, I feel like so much safer now. I was like, what's going to be our login? And he was like, oh, you don't get that. Yeah. He was like, you don't get that. Only people who can pay mortgage gets access to cameras.
Wow. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And so now you have the cameras installed. He didn't give you access, but now he's watching you.
Yes.
And everything that you're doing.
I felt like a prisoner at that point. At that point, I felt everything I did, I said, there was no safe spot, because we had cameras inside too. So there was no safe spot for me, because I didn't know what was going on. I can't look at the cameras. I don't know what's going on. I can't see who's outside. So if somebody were to come to the door, I'd have to call him and, see, hey, who's outside? Someone's supposed to come.
So was that your turning point, essentially? Like, at that point, did you realize, no, this is just not right?
Yeah. One of my friends was just like, Mandy, get it together. And I was just like, that is a little odd.
Yeah.
It is a little odd. And at that point, I was just like, okay, let's just keep. We had a huge argument because he kept being out late, and I was just like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, this is too much. Like, oh, there's such and such going to be here. It's a celebrity. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Get home. Like, let's like enjoy our home. And he just wasn't happening. And I think it was like Halloween. I was invited to a friend's house, like around the corner. And I was like, I got us costumes, like we were ready.
Yeah.
And we got into a huge argument, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go by myself. Mind you, we had, and I actually forgot this part, but we had bought matching Rolexes. I bought mine. He bought his with the money that we had saved with the $200 a day, or
the money that he deducted.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we deducted that part too. So I ended up was like, all right, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go to the Halloween party. If you want to come with me, great. If you want to come after like the game, then you can. And as I'm getting ready, about to leave the house, I can't find my watch. I'm like, where's my watch? And he's like, oh, can't find it. I don't know. And
It just disappeared.
He had already left the house that night. And I was just like, the argument was because he wanted me to pay half the mortgage. But I was just like, well, I don't mind that, but give me the login so I could, pay the bill. He was like, no, just give me cash.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a lot of financial abuse going on in this relationship at the time.
Yes.
Where he was trying to control your money and trying to tell you what to do with your money.
Yeah.
And not giving you full access to your money.
Yeah.
Or, expenses that you guys were supposed to be sharing.
Yeah.
And so what was the worst thing that you feel like happened in that relationship?
I think in general, the worst thing was that it was not the person I fell in love with. He wasn't the person that I told myself he was, and that he portrayed it to be. And I was like, I think that was the most hurtful part. I think being betrayed, betrayal in general is a hurtful thing. And thinking that you can trust someone and thinking that, hey, this is someone that I see my forever with, but it's not the same. That was actually one of the arguments afterwards when I had to like lock myself in the house. Like I kind of tricked him when he left. I ended up, I was finally able to get inside the house after calling the cops. They were like, ma'am, you live here. Just call a locksmith. Like, why are you even calling us? And I'm like, okay. So ended up getting inside the house. And when he left, I remember he didn't want to give me my car keys either, which I had paid for. That was my car. And finally he gave them to me and stormed out the house. And as soon as he did, I was like, dead bolted everything and like called my friends. I'm like, I need y'all to get here quick. We are going to stuff the cars. We're going to stuff the cars with as much as we can. And I need to get out of here.
That was your safety plan at the time.
That was my safety plan.
Yeah. You said, I have to go.
I have to.
Can't do this anymore.
Can't do it. Because at the point where I'm sitting outside in a costume, in a Halloween costume, in the middle of the night, and not even able to get inside my own home.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be my safety. You're the person that I look to for safety, and you're causing me more danger. I can't be here. Yeah.
So your friends came right away.
Yeah, they did. They came. And one of the things he said, I was hurt. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be us. Like, well, you don't want to be a team player. It was the manipulation.
The manipulation.
And he still says it to this day, I'm sure. But he kept telling people like I wasn't a team player. I didn't want to pay anything.
Just not taking accountability for none of his actions. And that's the psychological game that people try to play sometimes to make you feel like it's all your fault.
Yeah.
And he did, or she in some cases, did nothing wrong, right? And they won't take any responsibility for their actions.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all my fault. And that I was stingy with my money that I made, that I didn't want to help. Mind you, I also helped furnish the home. I helped decorate the home.
Yeah.
I turned the entire backyard into something wonderful, like an oasis. And still, none of that was good enough.
It wasn't.
Like the trips that we went on, like nothing was good enough. So
did you feel like, even after you guys had a conversation, you left, did you feel like it was partly your fault? Did you believe any of the lies that he was trying to tell you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was like, did I do something? Like, what did I do? Like, what could I have changed? Like, was it really me?
Yeah.
But I just remember, like, man, going back to that day, I just remember it was literally like horrible, like leaving. Like, if I could use the analogy, hell. It was literally that. Would not let me get any of my belongings. I had to like try to break in again to the house. The cops were like, please, like, we're worried for your life at this point. They would tell me that. The cops were like trying to mediate at one point, and they would say, ma'am, I know you want your things, but it's not worth your life. And this man is unhinged.
Was he physically abusive at all?
So no, but he was super aggressive. There was at one point where I saw the physical abuse, but I was just like, okay, it's not the worst, but I was like, it was more so the mental and the verbal.
Yeah. When you say you saw the physical abuse?
The phone throwing,
Okay.
the pushing, the grabbing, you know. But, thank God never had like...
He never physically, he shoved you here and there, but never like did anything worse than that.
Correct.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So you experienced some physical abuse, intimidation, it sounds like, the aggressive behavior, verbal
Mind
abuse.
you, I'm 5'3", so he was 6'2", I think. So
yeah, that could be very intimidating and frightening, right? And even with the difference in height, especially, but any form of intimidation, right? I think could be very fearful for a lot of people.
Yeah, there was one night, my friend was actually staying the night there, and he had thought that she had walked out the door.
Oh.
Because we heard the door shut, and it was like a light switch flipped. As soon as he heard the door shut, like the grabbing, the tussling, the like I was screaming for my life at that point because I was scared. Like whether he was gonna do something or not, I don't know, but it was definitely terrifying. And my friend recorded it.
She was there.
She was there.
So was there an argument that started that, or he just?
Yeah, it was just transpiring from not paying mortgage, not paying bills, and like I said, like I don't mind paying the bills. Like I had even put my name on the property. What was it? Property taxes, I think, just so that he could get a money back. Because if you have your ID has to have your address on it in order to get your property tax income back. And he basically was like, well, since yours on there, we'll just say you're my wife and this and that. And I was like, okay, like, and we're common law. And the night that I had locked him out, it was so crazy because he put an eviction notice on the door because he couldn't get in. I had barricaded myself inside the house until my friends got there. And he had put an eviction notice on the door stating that I didn't pay my lease and my rent and that I needed to get out. And I'm like,
he put the eviction notice for you.
Yes. And I was like, they have us on documentation that we're husband and wife. What are you talking about here?
So even with you barricading yourself in the house and you're waiting for your friends, how did you feel inside? Were you
scared?
You were panicking? Was he trying to break in? Or he didn't come back yet at that point?
So at one point, I had an extra camera. I had an extra camera from when I had my own place. And I was like, oh, I'm going to put this outside. So that way I can see what's going on. And
smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, he ended up coming and taking it down.
Oh, found it.
He found it and took it down. And I was just like, I was scared to sleep. I didn't know what that would look like. Which... yeah, I just did not know. And I was trying to make it one more night until my friends can say, hey, we'll come. We have everything planned out. Like, we can get it done. Yeah.
So at that point, you're saying you were scared to go to sleep. And I could definitely relate to that as well. I know for me, I used to sleep with a knife under my pillow because I was that scared. Were you at the point where you had to have weapons?
There was one point when he ended up breaking in and I had a gun. And I was at one side of the island and he was on the other side. I said, do not come any closer. I said, we can do this very pleasantly. But I am not afraid to use it if I have to. Do not do that. And we kind of were able to calm down a little bit. And then his sibling and mom came and more verbal abuse. You were nothing. You were just trying to take the house.
Back,
and I'm like, take the house from him. I don't want this. I don't want this house. It's not mine. I never once said, oh, this is going to be my house. If you sell, nothing like that. It wasn't.
So they were basically enabling his behavior. And
1,000%. Yeah, I had actually purchased a vehicle for my company, and one of the cars that he had a spare car she would use, but it was taken away from his money. And I was like, look, you can actually take the van that I bought for the company because we're not using it, and she can have it. She can literally have it. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas. And gave it to her. Switched the title over and everything. And I remember that night, she was like, I was like, how dare you come in here? Tell me about myself in the car that I helped, that I bought, basically. I bought you. And she was like, my kids bought this for me. I said, ask them. Ask them.
So at that point, when she said that, you don't know what they're telling her.
Oh, no. I knew immediately that it was a lot of gaslighting, a lot of lies. So I was like, okay, I am 3 against 1 right now. And then the cops came, which was my life, my saviors.
Yeah. So the cops, they seem to be familiar with you at that point. They were coming to your house multiple times.
Yes.
Did they ever talk to you about getting a restraining order, a protective order?
Yes.
Okay. No one ever got arrested?
No. I think the part of me was just I don't want to do that. I don't know. I prayed about it. And I just tried to say, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go that. I don't want to go that far. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, that's not uncommon, by the way. Like a lot of people don't feel comfortable putting their loved ones or the
Yeah.
person that they're in a relationship with behind bars, and they feel bad, and then they make you feel bad about it too.
Yeah.
You know, and you
And he was a felon.
yeah, okay, so that's
So,
another thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was just like, I don't know how bad that would be if I'm not going to do that. Like,
they want to put him in that position, even though your life was in danger.
yeah.
You felt like he would be worse off than you.
Yeah.
Putting his feelings, his life before yours.
Yeah.
pretty much.
There was a lot that I probably could have done, and I didn't.
Yeah. And surprisingly, no one ever got arrested when the cops got called.
No, because it was just like a civil matter. It wasn't. He was disputing for me to get out the house, but they were like, she lives here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just don't want to get hurt. And they were like, well, we can't go off of hypothetical.
Yeah, because if it was an actual physical altercation, then at that point, someone would have to get arrested.
Yes.
So now that you had the safety plan in place, your friends came to get you, packed up the vehicles. Where did you go?
Ooh, so I actually had pets. And at that time, I used to breed. I have hairless cats, so I used to breed them. And he was trying to steal them. And I was like, no, you're not taking my cats. Like, for sure, you're not. Like, not happening. And so my friends, like, he ended up taking one kitten. And I was like, okay, just one. Like, let's hope that he, like, sells it. Maybe he can use it for money for the mortgage or whatever the case is. I can't remember if at that point he had given my Rolex back, but he was trying to pawn it. But he did take like my box that, you know, when you buy it, he ended up taking that part. So I think I had the watch, but didn't have the box. And so I just literally stuffed as much into my friend's car and as much into my car.
Mm-hmm.
And the cats at that time, one of my friends' boyfriends had an apartment and that they used for their breeding, and they didn't have those animals anymore. So I ended up putting my cats there.
Okay.
And I would sleep on the couch with my friend just until I can kind of figure out what was going on, because technically he had taken all my money. I had nothing, you know. I had money coming in for the business, but that was for the business. And I was like, I had enough money to get an Airbnb. And so I ended up getting my cats, moving into an Airbnb for a couple of months. And I was just waiting for a check, actually from an accident that had happened like some while back. And I was just like, I need to figure this out. Like
what's next?
Yeah. Yeah.
Up the piece of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did he try to call you?
Yes. In my phone, my friend has a recording of him like crying on the phone. Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to get this bad.
More manipulation.
Like just let's talk about it. I don't know if we should live in together anymore, but like let's talk about it. Like, you know, like I think I'm good. But I did try to go back and get some of my stuff, but I went with people because I was too afraid to like go by myself.
What he was trying to do. And
I went with the U-Haul, and again, would not let me in. Had like the rifle sitting at the door. Because I had to get people to help me. Yeah.
He had the rifle at the door to go off, or to try to anyways, to intimidate you.
Yeah.
And then, so what was the turning point for you? You stayed in the Airbnb for a couple of months. You got that check. How did you pick up the pieces to your life? What was your healing journey like?
I ended up getting into a townhouse, and I almost died, actually. I almost died because I moved into a townhouse, and I was having a girls' night just to kind of lift up my spirits. And that night I was like, I'm not really feeling you guys. And my friends were like, no, we are having this party and we're going to enjoy each other. Like, we're just going to enjoy the company. You're a new home, and we're going to bring in peace the right way. Well, towards like 2 a.m., I think I ended up the alarms went off in my house, that my house was filled with carbon monoxide. And that had I went to sleep that night, I would have never woken up.
Thank God.
Yeah. And I was bawling, crying, because a few years ago, I I had a friend who passed away from carbon monoxide in her sleep.
Wow.
And so for me, I'm just like, God is telling me my story is not done yet.
It's not.
And that no matter what I'm going through, like there's so much better. Like everything's a learning curve. Like that wasn't for me.
Yeah. To see that you experience all of that and then get your own place and almost died through the carbon monoxide poisoning, and realizing at that point your voice has power.
Yeah.
Your story has power, and you have something to tell people. And what would you tell our audience today that's watching, someone who's in an abusive relationship? What would you tell them if they're in a situation like that?
Get out. I know that sounds so much easier said than done, but get out. Know who you are. You are worth it. I wish I probably would have told myself that a little bit better. Like you can, like if this relationship is not giving me purpose, I need to leave. And there are better things for you. Like whatever door God closes, He's just opening another one. And have faith. Believe in yourself. Believe that God is going to lead you into the right direction. And yeah, just keep going. Keep going. Trust me. Keep going.
It gets better.
It gets so much better. It's fun over here now.
It's fun. Mandy, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I really appreciate you. I know it's not easy, but just know that you are beautiful. You are worth it. And I'm glad that you realize that your voice has power, your voice is restored, and that you saw that you were worth it.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you guys for joining us at Voices Restored podcast. We are so glad that you were able to watch this episode with us today. I hope that you heard something today that changed your life, that could help you in any way get out of any situation that you may be in that's abusive and unhealthy. And catch us on our next episode of Voices Restored. Thank you.